Hey everybody, so this is the second part of the Cursed Trophy. This is the final day, day 49 of Curse Mode on my secondary account, Imaginary Completionist. And I'm going to show you the full day's run, followed by the next day where I get the trophy. And after that, we are going to load that trophy, the Cursed Trophy, onto my main save. And on that same day, we are going to travel through the house until we get to the trophy room, and we will get the Trophy of Trophies. The other thing that we're going to do on this video, because I really couldn't find any other place to put it, when we go through the trophy case at the end, I'm going to show you the Illogical Trophy and Bullseye Trophy. The ones for doing 40 parlor games, Logical Trophy, and 40 dartboard puzzles, Bullseye. I really couldn't find any other way of doing it. I couldn't really come to any good conclusion on where to stick them, so I figured since we're just going to take a real quick look at all the trophies in the trophy case, may as well throw it in there. So that is the agenda for this video. If you just got done watching part 1, where I showed how to unlock Curse Mode, I showed day 1 of Curse Mode, and a couple highlights throughout, I think day 4, day like 22, 23, somewhere around there, and some of the like the 30s and the 40s as we get close to day 49 here. So what I do not capture, and I didn't show in the previous video, and I don't have capture of it today on this one, is the day before this, day 48, I had burning glass, and I went to the apple orchard with the 3 microchips in my possession, and I used burning glass on the base of the sundial, and I charred 2 of the tiles on the base of the sundial there, and I rotated it until it opened the sundial. I don't really know how you're supposed to rotate it and what exactly the answer is. It changes based on the time of day. I don't think it has anything to do with like how the sun is creating a shadow where you're standing. It took me forever. The one time I tried to do it on I think the main account, it took me for absolutely ever to rotate it until it worked. So but anyway, I didn't struggle too much. Ooh, getting the sleep mask on day 49 is going to definitely be a good thing here as we are in the bedroom, and you're going to see me walk out and back into the bedroom to get those extra 5. I have not been really paying attention here to what I've already selected, but with 19 steps, now 25, my guess is we probably have nursery. So it's very important to know what we did. Yeah, we do have nursery. I see it there. The day before this is we unlocked the satellite. So we used the sundial. We put the microchips into the sundial little extra secret compartment there, and we turn the satellite on. So now, once we get to a console, and we are going to get to the security console soonish, once we get to that console, we're going to download a packet of new experiments. We're going to manage that packet so that we are getting the optimal selections for our experiments in the laboratory, and we are going to select one that is going to help us get to room 46. It's all going to happen today. As I mentioned last time, Courtyard Not something I should pick on a regular basis, but I'm going to give you full disclosure here. This day 49, I reran day 49 about 6 times. The reason I reran this particular day is because this is a very special day. Day 49, if you were not aware, is Christmas Day. And in Blueprints, if you select the boudoir on Christmas Day, you get a nice little treasure trove of gems, 2 keys, and 4 ivory dice. So you get, I think it's 6 gems, 2 keys, and 4 ivory dice. And I think that's it. I think that's all you get. Plus the gem or 2 gems that you normally get from the boudoir. So once I realized that was the day, I decided to make this I was going to plant my feet in the ground, and this was going to be the day I was going to ride or die. And after about 5 failed attempts, on this final attempt here, we made it work. So 2 of the times I picked Courtyard on day 49, I got some really good tools. I got a sledgehammer one day, and I got a shovel, I think, at least one other day. So that's why I picked Courtyard again. And in the morning room, of course, because even though it does use up extra gems and it's not very helpful in curse mode, there's the machinarium. I should also mention I went down to the underground. I think one of the days I was kind of like locked out of getting any further, and I had a dead end house, I think. So I must have gone down and been able to select the tomb, and then I went through and I set everything up. I set everything up on that side of the tomb, and I took the boat over to the other side, and I went and rotated the room. I got to the lever for room 46, and I turned it on. Just, I couldn't get into the antechamber and make it work, but at least I did that. So I set everything up, so all you have to do is get down there, walk straight through, hit the lever, and come back up, and then we're good to go. So while I was down there, I grabbed Machinarium. I used it once or twice in probably about day 45 or 47, somewhere around there. I think I used it because one of those days I had selected, I think I had already drafted maybe 4 or 5 of the mechanical rooms. So I was able to use the Machinarium to get the lever for the antechamber. I think it's the west side antechamber door. I was able to get that open, but I did not have a successful run that time. But again, another thing that you can go in there and unlock, and another resource you can utilize in order to make this work. So we already have Blackbridge Grotto open. We already have the satellites. We already have the reservoir emptied by 1 unit so that we can take the boat from the tomb side over to the railway side. Here's security. So we're going to do a lot of management of data and packets and so forth here. The other great thing about Blackbridge Grotto, once you get that online, here's the boudoir too. Once you get the Blackbridge Grotto online, you can use one console to get into 2 different things. So if I got to security first, I would use that to get to laboratory to select experiment. And if I got to laboratory first, I would do the vice versa, use that to get the security things selected for the security doors. So there you go. You get 6 extra gems, 2 keys, plus the 2 gems that are in here because I have an upgraded boudoir, and 4 ivory dice. And they are going to make a world of difference in this run. I'm going to use all 4 of those ivory dice. I think I even get 2 more, at least, before this is over. But in the very end, we're going to run out of ivory dice. And we are going to, it's all going to come down to luck. And as, again, I can't spoil it anymore. I've already mentioned it. This does work out, but it is a nail biter by the end. I'll tell you what. So we're going to head back to security and start dealing with that experiment packet of data. And while I go through the motions, there was 2 things I wanted to mention. We just talked about the satellite, but something that for some reason, I forgot this entire curse run on this account. I never really thought about it, and it's something that I should definitely mention. And that is, there's a couple tomorrow rooms that can benefit you in this. Not the least of which, of course, is selecting pool, and then after pool, selecting the sauna. So sauna will give you 20 extra steps the next day, which means you will start the next day with 33 steps, and that is pretty great. I've found that on my main account, because I did have that kind of in the back of my mind, I was pretty conscious about the fact that sauna existed. Then every single time I started with the 20 extra steps, I never made it past rank 2. The game, I swear, has a mind of its own, and the last thing it wants to allow you to do is actually succeed. And that's definitely how it felt with the sauna extra 20 steps that I would get. But eventually it did work, and I think the day that I beat curse mode on my main account, I did have the 20 extra steps. I think they did make a difference. So keep that in mind. And there's other rooms that are good for upgrades. Here's the data packet that we just downloaded. Another great upgrade is upgrading the billiard room to the break room, because if you end your day in the break room, you will get a key card in your inventory the next day, which is pretty helpful, because I can't tell you how many times I was sweating trying to make sure that I had the security room and the utility closet with it turned off, or get a card and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about what I'm picking here. Immediately, as a trigger, each time you unlock or bypass a security door, very good for that. Each bedroom you draft after your second, that's a good one. You're going to draft a lot of bedrooms. Each time you find some trash while digging, while, as I mentioned in the previous video, getting a shovel, very difficult. I had a lot of struggles getting shovels here. The first time you enter each room on rank 9, also something that I did not do very often on curse mode. So again, they're not perfect, but you have to select 8. And that's one that did a lot of good for me in other runs. So I selected it. Each room with a fireplace you draft. You'd be surprised how many rooms have fireplaces. So that's always a good choice. And each time you draft an upgraded floor plan. So at this point, I have like 5 or 6 upgraded rooms. So I figured that was good. And then at this point here, I'm kind of deliberating whether to pick shop room or each time you eat an apple. Because it was very rare that I had a lot of fruit at my disposal. Secret Garden Key was not something that I was picking often. And shop rooms, there's only 3 shop rooms really that you could select. So yeah, that didn't really work for me. And very quickly, gaining a key gem or die randomly, steps to 40, set your dice to 2, permanently add 1 gold to your allowance, stock your pantry with fruit, unseal one of the doors of the antechamber, very important, that one. Permanently increase your lockpicking skills, and I threw in, put 2 chests in the entrance hall last there. Not expecting to go back and forth to the entrance hall to see what's in there and not expecting to use a lot of keys anyway. But right after I download that packet, I am blessed with, for each bedroom you draft after your second as select A, and unseal one of the antechamber doors for select B. And so that's what we pick. So we have nursery, we have bedroom, and I believe we probably also have guest bedroom already selected. Is that true? No, boudoir. Okay. So we have 3 selected, which means we have a possibility of getting about 3 others. I did get master bedroom on one of these days as a selection. I didn't pick it because I think it was going to dead end me and kind of end my run. But master bedroom on curse mode I think would be fantastic, especially towards the end, to get a step per room that you've drafted plus 8 extra steps because of nursery and all that kind of stuff. So here we get utility closet because we want to make sure we are not going to get stuck behind any security doors. We do not have a key card on ourselves. But as I mentioned, if you have the opportunity, upgrade billiard room to break room so that you can, you're not going to probably be able to do it every single day, but the more often you can end your day in the break room, the better off you're going to be the next day with the security card. And as I mentioned, you utilize those tomorrow rooms. You're not going to get into the clock tower. And there's a couple, I think the clock tower is the one that gives you keys the next day. But utilize the sauna as best you can. So we are doing really good with our gems here because of Christmas. And we've already gone through the foundation. We have access to the foundation, all 3 doors, which is fantastic. We have the utility closet already accessed. So now at this point, all we're trying to do is select as many bedrooms as we can without getting any dead ends on our way up to the antechamber. And so my plan was, if I could, to select at least 3 bedrooms. Now keep in mind, and we will be utilizing it. Actually, I think I select it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Keep in mind that the aquarium is a bedroom. It's also a shop. It's also everything else, right? So you're going to lose a lot of resources. 2 keys, 2 gems, 2 coins, and 2 steps. But the more bedrooms we select, the more antechamber doors that are going to open. And it is my theory that if I selected 4 bedrooms, or if I selected 3 bedrooms and one of them was the bunk room, it's my theory, and I did not get a chance to test this, but you're going to see me almost make that choice. It's my theory that all 3 of the antechamber entrances would open, as well as the doorway blocking your way into room 46. That is my theory. Here's pool, and I really wish I would have selected it, but foresight being 2020, knowing that this is my actual last day of the curse run. Oh, I do select it. Okay, I forgot about that. That is true. Yeah, we're going to walk in and out of the pool a couple times. I don't even bother powering this up because I'm riding on the high that I'm really thinking this is going to work, that I'm going to open all the antechamber doors, because I've had quite a few days where I've had a good 6+ bedrooms. And remember, there's at least 7. I don't have any of the bedroom upgrades, like what is it, hallway? You can upgrade it to, or not hallway, spare room. You can upgrade it to a spare bedroom, or her ladyship's spare room, I think it's called. So those are two options there. At this point, we're not going to get Her Ladyship's chambers because we're not going to be able to select a south facing door on the west side. I mean, it's still possible, but I'd have to really kind of maneuver myself around in order to make it work. We get 5 extra gems, 3 steps, and now apples give us 5 steps from the 21st star in the observatory. Okay, so here is where I start really kind of trying to figure out what I want to do here. And you're going to see me deliberate on the next about 2 or 3 rooms here. Now, boiler room gives me the option of getting a door. I have 3 dice. I should have probably picked bunk room, because something I didn't mention, we picked quest bedroom, not guest bedroom, quest bedroom, which gives us an extra 2 coins added to our allowance if we get to the antechamber. But we picked that bedroom, but it doesn't show you which antechamber door opens. So I have no idea which door to go to. If I lock myself out of the middle antechamber door, that might be the only door open right now. So we're really kind of running a risk here. And my theory is bunk room always gives you 2 of everything. And if the bedroom selection gives you a result from the experiment, I would think the bunk room would give you 2 rewards, or whatever you're supposed to get. I guess I could test that theory out, but I'm not going to play this game anymore. But feel free to let me know in the comments if you've used experiments and you've picked the bedrooms for these experiments. If the result when you pick the bunk room, if you get double the result, like if you get, if the result's supposed to be you get a key for every hallway or whatever, and you get 2 keys because you picked the bunk room, please let me know in the comments, because I'm very curious. If I would have picked bunk room there, would it have opened 2 more antechamber doors, thus guaranteeing that no matter what antechamber door I went to, I'd be able to get into it. But the good news is, in the end, I just had to cross my fingers and make it work. Here's the second time. So each time so far, the dark room is one of the selections. And we're not hurting too badly. I mean, I don't want to lose 2 gems out of 5, and I'm already out of keys. So I was deliberating locker room. If the middle antechamber door was the one that was open, would get me straight up there and would also get me keys. And I could get to possibly the east side antechamber door from the boiler room if I needed to. But it would absolutely lock me out of the west side door. So the question at this point is, if I select a room, am I going to be walking into the antechamber, or am I going to be locking myself out of the only entrance? Bunk room comes up a second time here, and it would dead end me. Not necessarily completely, but it would cut me off from that antechamber door. So not knowing which door is open is a big problem. And ballroom, I didn't want to bring my gem count down to 2. Though ballroom is an interesting one. You walk in and out of ballroom, you have 2 gems no matter what. So if you go in there with no gems, you walk out of there with 2 gems. So it could be useful. With 54 steps, I could utilize that if I really needed gems later on. So I'm deliberating whether to do that. But again, it would lock you out of the west side. So we get lucky, and on one of our last ivory rolls, we get passageway, which is exactly what I want. But now we still have no keys. And that's okay. We didn't have any keys before. This door is locked, though, so we're kind of screwed there if we can't get any more keys. And this side is not locked. So now I'm deliberating, should I pick foyer in case I do get Great Hall and I can utilize another antechamber exit? But nah, I decide not to. I'm going to go for gymnasium because pump room will put us in a dead end. Using the ivory dice isn't really the best choice. And at this point, I'm going to lose a gem and a coin, but who cares? So I picked gymnasium instead. Now I have access to both sides of the antechamber. And at this point, I didn't really need to go any further. I knew I had everything I needed. Okay? So here's where, it's time to make the decision. I can use this last dice roll in the outer room in case I need it for tomb. If I get tomb, I can use the boat to go over. I can do everything I need to do, and we're good to go. I have the basement key. I already have pool, and I already had pump room as a selection, and the boiler room's already selected. So there's really no chance that I'm going to be able to get a powered up pump room, but I could always try if I wanted to guarantee a passage to the underground through the fountain. So these are all kind of the options I'm weighing, and instead I think at this point, with 45 steps, we're going to stop at the dining room and get our 20 extra steps from eating some dinner. We're going to go down to the outer room, and we're going to try our luck with our one ivory die. This rotunda was a good choice. Having all those extra gems, because it was Christmas Day, gave us the opportunity to select a room like Rotunda, which provides you with multiple. Yes, so here's what I do. I'm on my way to go to dining room and to pick tomb, and I realize I don't need to do any of that. I have the basement key, and I have the foundation, and the elevator is all set up. I can use the basement key to get into this room, and I don't have to touch the tomb side at all. And that's exactly what I do. Even though we did a really good job of preparing, maybe over preparing, for every option, in the end, we had a pretty easy way of getting where we needed to go. So we are on the railway side here, and we are going to go through the motions to make a path to the green button. And I'm actually going to skip a step here, which I didn't realize I skipped until I was able to, until I just walked right over it. But you're supposed to pull out that large skid, and you're supposed to put it right there, but somehow I made it over without getting it. So speedrun tactics, here we go. So at this point, I am pretty jazzed because I'm feeling like, yeah, this is going to work. And it does. And again, we had the reservoir was all set up. The tomb was all set up. And opened up and everything. We had lots of other ways to do it. And we never got any antechamber levers. We didn't get the Great Hall. We didn't get the Secret Garden Key. Again, as I said in the previous video, the Secret Garden Key only showed up 2 or 3 times in all 49 days. It was ridiculous. It showed up on day 1, and I don't really think I saw it more than 1 or 2 other times in my entire Curse Run mode. So again, the boat's on the other side because I have it set up that if I get Tomb, we're good to go. Oh, and I forgot that I opened it up so that we can go through this room here and walk straight into the antechamber, but it is so dark in curse mode that I can't see where I'm going. So there we go. We're going to... we started with what, like 54 steps from the antechamber. We went down to the foundation, got the elevator. We're going to hit the switch, and in about 3 more steps, we're going to be right back where we were before, and we're just going to walk into the antechamber, and we're going to be done. So I'm going to let this play out a little bit so we can enjoy the music here, and I'll come back towards the end. Figured it might be good to just kind of take stock of how we got here. So entrance hall, we got nursery early on, and then we went corridor, bedroom, breakfast nook, den, courtyard, dining room, hallway, patio, drawing room, boudoir, rumpus room, foundation with a utility closet and security. Downloaded those packets, and then rotunda, boiler room, pool, observatory, showroom, office, passageway, and then the antechamber with a couple extra bedrooms. We're also going to let this final cutscene play out for the final time.
There was once a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. He didn't see the birds or the changing of the leaves, and he never saw the sights of life's many symphonies. He couldn't see beyond the red shade he was aware. He never caught a glimpse of the world I had to share. But one day the prince saw something new. And if you look closely, you might see it too. The skies parted and the clouds withdrew. The prince had a new favorite color. The color blue.
I'm noticing I did a pretty good job of not straying too far away from a single path here. Every time I did stray, I ended up hitting a dead end with, some either extra steps gained from a bedroom or some resources from like a storeroom or the morning room there and some other things. So then that gymnasium was just a last choice. And it was, at that point I realized, oh, wait a minute, I don't need to do anything. I can just go straight to the antechamber. And with all the steps I have left, why not just hit the lever myself and get it done? Here is the next day, and we get, of course, the inheritance trophy. There's the letter, and here is our cursed trophy. For prevailing against all the odds and reaching room 46 on cursed mode. Grab my allowance. There's the letter. I don't think we even bother reading it this time. And we are going to... Oh, okay, so this is me going through the days. I captured this a little bit later. So day 2 was pretty uneventful, as you can see. Day 3 is the day I unlocked the garage and I got into Tomb and did all the moving of stuff around, opening up the room, hitting all of the idols and all that kind of stuff. Day 4, I showed getting the gas valves in the apple orchard, the gem cavern, and the hovel. Not eventful. Day 5. I must have run out of keys. Day 6, I got garage, but didn't end up going to the outer room. Again, we got 43 more days to go through, so they're not all going to be winners. Pretty uneventful day 7. Trading Post, I got into day 8 and did the more J puzzle, so that was probably the first or second allowance that I got there. Tool Shed, I was trying to, I think, probably make the Power Hammer. Again, never made the Power Hammer all 49 days. Got the Foundation on day 11. Important now that it ended up being the reason we got to room 46, you know. A couple days here, I'm not seeing too much to talk about. One of these days I get the Cloister and I get an extra day or 2 added to my 2 coins added to my allowance. Great Hall. So one of the few times I actually got an antechamber door open, but didn't make it up there. As you can see, I'm picking Nursery a lot. Schoolhouse, that is the final gas valve you need to turn, but I never ended up using the chess puzzle and using that area. Never went down there. There's really nothing down there that's really going to help you out in curse mode. Got pretty far in day 19. Pretty impressive. Pump Room, I believe that's the day that I released the unit of water in the reservoir. Greenhouse, I probably showed that in the previous video. Yeah, that was the day I was trying to make the Power Hammer. I did that a couple times. Secret Passage to Foyer in the hopes that I would unlock the Great Hall and that would help me get into the antechamber, but never really worked. Servants' Quarters is another bedroom that popped up a lot. A couple days I picked the aquarium, even though that is a resource killer. But I think that would have helped us on that final day. Cloister to aquarium. Yeah, I definitely picked aquarium more than once, which is kind of silly. Secret Passage, did not roll the foyer, did not get up into the antechamber. Day 29, it just was a tidal wave of bad luck. I got one red room and then I got more red rooms, and it was just horrible. I think I had given up at that point. I was just like, let's see what we can make happen. Day 31 was a horrible day. Look at that. Day 32 as well, not very good. Conservatory, I did pick it once or twice, trying to kind of bend some rarities of rooms to my favor, but nothing to write home about. Great Hall again. I'm not noticing Secret Garden too often here. Oh, there's Secret Garden. Say it and it'll show up. That day I definitely ran out of keys. I remember that. Boiler room, drawing room, yep. At least one of those days I got the conference room and then I selected office and was able to get like 40 coins worth of funds. And then I just kind of ran out here of, yeah, this one was sad. I was so close to getting it. I don't remember exactly how that went down, whether it was I ran out of steps or I couldn't get into the but I did. I got into the antechamber. I must have run out of steps. Day 42, day 43. A couple of these are just kind of not much you can do about it, you know. Was starting to lose hope around these days here. 46, that's when I went back down to the tomb and I grabbed the machinarium. Figured every resource you can utilize, every option you can get is always going to be useful. Which is interesting. I grabbed it on day 46 and I didn't use it until day 48, the day before we got in there. Interesting. Gallery also, I went ahead and did Room 8, got that trophy on this save. And then day 49. Here's our win. And as I mentioned before, I did do day 49 about 6 times before it worked. So, oh well. So that is how that went down. We save and quit. And now we are going to bring up our main save on this account, transfer over that cursed trophy, and all we have to do is get to the trophy room and we have our platinum. And because we have shown this in previous runs before, previous trophies, we're gonna do double time here. Plus, I spend a little too much time kind of meandering around before I go and go to Blackbridge Grotto and transfer over the trophy. But I do want to show you the rooms that I select before we head over there, because it's kind of important. You know, getting to the trophy room can be a very frustrating experience after you transfer over all the trophies. And can you even imagine if I would have picked the trophy room? If the trophy room would have, like, if I would have rolled it up before I did this transfer, oh my god, I would have been so angry. But you go to Blackbridge Grotto, you select MOOR capital R as your admin key login, and you can pick a data file and you can import trophy data. Again, we've done this about 2 or 3 times on the channel so far. Pick cursed trophy, import selection, and that's it. And once you go back to the entrance hall, it will be there on your little checklist. So all we have to do is get to the trophy room. So on my main account, it took me 6 or 7 or 8 days after getting the final trophy, and for that one, it was day 1. It took me 6 to 8 extra days playing through and selecting all 43 rooms, 45, I guess, getting everything I possibly could, days and days and days, until I finally got the trophy room. And I think I started, like, I made sure my star level was up to 50 so I could roll rooms. I was getting as many ivory dice as I could. I think one of the days I picked study and I was rolling for new rooms using gems. It was so frustrating because all I needed to do was to walk into a room and get a trophy and then get the platinum. And after spending 270 plus hours on my main account, I was so done. I just wanted to be done with this game. I was about ready to walk away. And, you know, that final moment was just very frustrating. So I'm showing you this because this is literally, I got the cursed trophy, I uploaded it to my main save, and I kept walking around the house, and within, I don't know, like 13 or 14 rooms, I get it, and we're done, you know. I know I keep spoiling these things. I know you guys are sitting on the edge of your seats waiting to see whether or not I get it. Obviously I get it. Plus, I don't want to keep you waiting. I mean, I could have probably sped all this up too, because it is kind of unnecessary to watch me go through all this, but if if you aren't aware, that that top left one, that will make you have more dead end rooms. So we didn't want the dead end room. We want the room with 3 doorways. Oh, not the throne room. We want the L-shaped room known as the trophy room. So I do get a little further. Actually, I think it's a little sooner than I think it is. I think it's maybe rank. I think it's rank 7. We're at rank 4. We're going to jump to rank 5 here in a minute. Oh, I remember what makes it happen. Okay. Yeah, we're coming on the chance here to select a specific dead end room that's going to help us out. First, we go for gallery. I mean, why not? Because we get the 2 gems. The other thing I was thinking is maybe I'd roll vault and I'd start the the blue door, the whole like end game stuff. If you take the room 8 key into the vault and use it to open a specific vault, you'll get kind of a lore dump of a whole nother side of this game, where you can do a lot of math and spelling and opening of blue doors and using the watering can in some weird ways in some weird places. But that's another video for another day. I believe we go for boiler room, or did we pick nursery? No, we're not going to pick nursery. That would dead end us. We don't want to do that, so we pick the boiler room. We haven't selected the room I'm thinking of yet. We go for morning room, always a great thing. And of course, I'm also kind of very traumatized by curse mode, and I keep thinking, "Oh, don't select that room. You're gonna lose this resource, or that's gonna happen." Go with corridor, and I think this is when drawing room, that way we can. So at this point, once I got to this rank, I had plans to start kind of re-rolling in hopes that it would show up, and I don't need to because I get trophy room. I get trophy room without re-rolling, and I have just enough gems. Thank God. That was the other thing. It's 5 gems to get this room, and if I would not have had 5 gems, I would have been so angry at myself. But here we go. Final trophy, the trophy of trophies. You also get 8 gems. For spending 5 gems, you get 8 gems, so you earn 3 more. Very nice. This is a room with a fireplace in case you're doing experiments, and that is one of the things you've selected. And every trophy you've earned is in here, and here they all are. The Full House trophy for filling every room slot. We've shown you how to do that. The Explorer's trophy for walking into all, I don't remember how many rooms there are, but every single room in the room directory. The Bullseye trophy, and here's our look at the Bullseye trophy. This is for getting 40 dartboard puzzles solved. There's no way to fail the dartboard puzzle, and so this was the 40th puzzle. It's a little longer to get this one than the logic puzzle because the billiard room is not as common of a room as the parlor is. But there we go. That was the 40th dartboard puzzle. That was actually, I got that right before I started curse mode. It took me a while to get that. And then, of course, the logic, or a logic puzzle for winning the parlor game 40 times. By the time you get to the 40th one, they get pretty difficult. And then past the 40th one, they seem to get a little bit easier. Or maybe I just kind of, something clicked in my head. And of course, I started grabbing the gems accidentally before I selected the trophy. So sorry for that little glitch in the video there. But 40 parlor games, you're going to get that pretty close, unless you've been failing a lot of the parlor games. You're going to get that pretty close to day 40, because the parlor is a very essential game, a very essential room every day. You're going to want to select that. Trophy of Invention for getting all 8 contraptions. Trophy of Drafting for filling the house with at least 20 dead ends. Getting all the sigils, getting the sigil keys, or the sanctum keys. The Trophy 8, real easy one there, for putting all the figurines in the right places in room 8. The Inheritance Trophy for getting to room 46 the first time. Darebird for completing Dare Mode. Cursed Trophy for completing Cursed Mode. Of course, we just showed you that. And then we have Day 1 Trophy for the incredible feat of reaching room 46 in a single day. Something that went immensely easier on this account than it did on my main account. Trophy of Speed, also awarded for getting to room 46 in under an hour in that same run. Not always possible. Trophy of Wealth for buying everything in the showroom plus the 100 coin trophy itself. Diploma Trophy for getting an A in the classroom final exam. All of these have videos here on the channel. And then Trophy of Trophies, awarded for mastering the estate and completing the trophy case. And that is all of Blueprints. This is most likely the last video I'm going to make. I do have the curse run and the day 1 run on my main account captured. I may put those up just so you can see me struggle through them, but I'm not sure if it's really necessary. I think these all kind of proved some good things here. Dare Mode, I unfortunately didn't capture well enough to put in here. So this is going to be the end of Blueprints, unless we put some of that stuff in there. And probably the last trophy guide I'm going to be doing for a while. So let me know if this has helped you out. Let me know what else you have discovered about this game. Here's the Platinum Trophy. And we hope to see you in the next one, whether or not that happens to be in a while or soon. We hope you have a great time playing these games. Take care.